I wonder if these people have a screwdriver. Alright, so Volvo's back in the garage. I got some cool stuff for it that we were going to put on. New wideband sensor so it'll run. I got my injectors back, 440cc RC injectors, and a new intake pipe so I could get rid of this monstrosity. First issue we ran into is the fact that this Spectre filter, the 400-mile-an-hour company, dude, none of these rubber rings fit that 3-inch pipe, so that's cool. We'll get back to that later though, because as I pulled it into the garage, it died again. I didn't turn it off and it wouldn't start again. Sprayed starting fluid, and guess what happened? The line came off the fuel pump again. I don't understand how I'm having this much trouble with this. Like, people do this swap pretty much every day. Run this fuel pump on stock fuel lines and have no problem, but I don't know. Maybe I blew that hose open and they didn't give me fuel injection hose like I asked for. We'll see. That's enough with the flat heads. Well, the fact that there's no fuel pump on this could be problematic. But don't worry. I found it. Huh. Got a hangnail and that gas is really burning in it. The hose clamps that were on this, Jesus, there's nowhere to put this. The hose clamps that were on here were these ones, these Phillip heads ones that I honestly should have just replaced last time because you can't even tighten them very good. And they had like rattled themselves loose. One was still kind of tight, but the other one, like, you could just turn the screw by hand. So I put like quality hex head fuel injection hose clamps on it. And hopefully it doesn't give us a huge pain in the ass as usual to get it back in. We're gonna make sure those ones are still tight while it's out too. So for those attentive viewers that have always asked me what that hose clamp sitting on the driver's side shock tower was for, I never had a use for it, but I'm gonna try and see if it'll get tight enough to put it right here, because this metal assembly is what made the fuel pump come off. So we'll try and clamp it on. If not, I'll use zip ties. There's no convenient way to place this thing. So it didn't want to go in as easy as last time. As usual, I get pissed off at it, so now Brendan's giving it a shot. Alright, it's back in. Just need to put this vent hose on. Everything's tightened up.
That's gotta be record time.
Probably, honestly. Alright. There we go. Now let's do the stuff we wanted to do. Alright, so we got it unplugged so we can cycle it with nothing plugged in, and then we'll plug it in and let it calibrate. Alright, it's plugged in, it's calibrated. We're gonna fire it up, make sure I get a wideband reading, and then we'll put the injectors in. Let it warm up. It's good. Alright, now the fun part. I'm gonna go plug my laptop in because I don't think it's charged, and then we'll put injectors in. Alright, it's time. We're gonna put in my RC SL4 440s. These are 440cc injectors versus the factory 295. I won't be maxing out my fuel injector duty cycle anymore, and that also means I will be able to raise the red line back up to the factory 6300 or maybe 65. First things first, so we're gonna get the injectors put in and then go from there. So let's do that.
I'm getting a gnarly rash right here.
Probably asbestos. The injectors, when I bought them, had these O-rings on them that are not the same size as the Volvo ones, but the ones off the Volvo feel like they are brand new. Like they're still really tough, but still malleable. So I'm putting these on the RCs, and then we'll plop them in and start adjusting my fuel map. You can see quite a difference in the openings. So
The opening is open.
hopefully we'll be pumping mad fuel.
Mad chooch. Chooch juice,
But
as
yeah.
Jacob calls it.
I sent these in to a local guy who pulled them apart, put new internal O-rings and these C-clip things. He put new ones on and new internal filters and flow matched them. Said they are all solid, right on the money for 440 and flowing identical. So shouldn't have any problems. Alright, so I have the Megasquirt pulled up and I'm in the fuel settings. This is really blurry, hold on. Okay, so we got engine displacement, number of cylinders 4. Currently it's set at 32 pounds per hour, but these injectors are 42. So we'll set that, burn it to the ECU. Okay, now we'll go to the fuel table.
Yeah.
Alright, so I'm gonna select all of them. Multiply, so the injector, I already did the math, the increase is 49%. So we're gonna multiply the whole fuel table by 0.51, and that should balance the fuel enough to let me start it. So, let's see. Wow, that was easy. Let's see if it'll shoot it out. Up and throw. Auto tune on. Oh. Informed incorrectly. I found out that changing the fuel table is a substitute for the required fuel setting, but we got the required fuel setting good, rolled back the fuel table to what it was at before. Now it's running really solid. AFRs are good. So now we've got the red line 6300 as it should be. We got the big injectors in, and we're gonna take it for some road tuning. So the fuel cut's gone, AFRs are beautiful. So here's a second gear pull. That wasn't me.
Guess that was the rev limiter.
I guess so.
Yeah, it sure was. Because
oh yeah,
see right there, it went away.
Yeah. Wow, that's a, when they say hard fuel cut, they mean hard. Uh-oh.
What?
No boost. I think we blew an intercooler pipe.
Hell yeah!
Sick, man.
Woo! My dad's truck used to do that all the time. We'd be towing up, if any of you are familiar with the area.
Oh, you know where I bet it is? The pipe that goes into the turbo.
Probably.
That jerry-rigged piece of shit.
Yeah. Anyways, if any of you are familiar with the area, going up Horseshoe Bend Hill, you're going up, and then it flattens out around a right-hand corner, every single time in my dad's old truck, right around that corner, you get on it to build speed going up again, it'll blow an intercooler pipe.
All right, so my wastegate actuator line, I guess we ran it, ran it across the hot side for some reason. We're retarded, so that just fried. But yeah, it did blow the intercooler pipe where I suspected.
That could be why you weren't getting full 16 pounds of boost.
No, the wastegate being unrestricted would make more boost.
Right.
So, but yeah, so that's where I just burned the shit out of my finger. I thought Brennan was recording, but it was like burning and like starting to catch on fire a second ago. And the spark plug wire is in the way, so I went to pull the spark plug wire out. Exhaust manifolds get hot and so do things near them. I wonder if these people have a screwdriver. All right, so Volvo left in that parking lot. There's an O'Reilly. It's an 8-minute walk. So we're gonna go get some new vacuum line. We made it to the promised land. Woo! Alright, new line is on. They didn't have the same size. They had slightly smaller and slightly bigger, as Brennan predicted. He didn't knock on his genitals. We got it on. Brennan also noticed a loose hose clamp in the cooling system, which is sick. You don't really need coolant. Yeah. So, we're gonna go ahead and go over to Austin's house. Hopefully she's alright. She won't blow that wastegate line off. Gonna pay special attention to the boost gauge.
Does this get like a full like boost through it?
Yeah.
It's a full like 16 pounds?
Yeah.
Or whatever?
Well, it reads the manifold pressure because the turbo doesn't have a nipple feeding for the wastegate actuator line. So we're just measuring it off manifold. Well guys, Jasmine is running full boost on my 440cc injectors and I couldn't be happier about that, but now it's time for some sad news. As many of you know, this engine, when I got it, had been run with this turbo on it at 16 pounds on the stock ECU and stock injectors for over a year. So, I didn't go into this thinking this car had a lot of time left on this engine. I pulled the dipstick out and the oil is full of gas. It's got some pretty gnarly blow-by, and I can't do a compression test because, as many of you also know, the spark plugs are beyond cross-threaded into the head. So it's a matter of time now, and from this point on, Jasmine is an experiment to see just how tough a Volvo red block engine is. See if I can get some drippy action for you guys. Alright, further development. The reason you didn't see any drippy in that clip is all the oil from it is out here on the ground. Alright, well, I was going to change the oil anyway. Hopefully there's something obvious when I go under there that's making it leak that much. Alright, so I drained what was left of the oil in there. It doesn't look too thin. It's definitely brownish, and it definitely looked like after the oil came out some gas poured out on top of it, but the oil doesn't look really thin like I thought it was, so maybe she's got some left in her, but the oil leak's definitely coming from the return line. I just need to tighten up the hose clamp on it, I guess, because it's puking out from there, as you saw in the driveway. The interesting part is it didn't spew it all out at Austin's last night. Alright, so I got the hose clamp tightened up. I got as tight as I could with a ratchet, so that should be good. But it's where the rubber hose meets the little there's a metal fitting that goes into the block for the drain. A little metal pipe that goes into the block from the rubber hose. I sprayed it with brake parts cleaner, so if it leaks again, I'll know. So, we should be good to lower it. I tightened the sump plug back up, lower it, put the new oil in it, and we'll fire it up. Alright guys, we got it full of Castrol GTX 15W40 diesel oil. The cool thing about these is this is a 4-quart capacity oil pan, and diesel gallons come in, or diesel bottles come in gallons instead of 5 quarts. So when I use this, I can put my used oil in that because I don't have any left over. As usual, somewhere, somehow, I cut myself and didn't notice it. Alright, time to fire up, see if we got any leaks or anything, and I'm gonna go wash my bloody knuckle. So it just ran for 2 minutes, no leaks, looking like we're good. I'm gonna go grab the laptop and set up something really badass. So I've got Jasmine running right now, letting her warm up. I've got the laptop plugged in, and I've enabled Spark Cut. If you don't know what that is, you will in a second. But I gotta let it warm up. All right, I'm a little nervous, but we got it up. My hard limit's 6,300 RPM. And she's warm now, so let's give it a shot. Oh yes. So there you go, that's Spark Cut. It's the same essential thing as a launch control rev limiter. But after it running and revving it up a little bit, I just looked under and there's oil coming out of it again. So I'm gonna go under there and see what's going on. So I investigated the oil leak. Sorry I didn't really film any of this. I was getting real pissed off because the oil filter, I believe, was where the leak was coming from. Justin, my buddy Justin, put that on. I don't know what he did, but I could not get it off by hand. Couldn't get it off with the strap wrench. Had to use the classic beat a screwdriver through it and twist the screwdriver to get it out. And in the midst of doing so, I created the biggest oil spill disaster since BP's incident in the Gulf of Mexico. So I'm gonna clean this up, and that's gonna be the end of this video because I'm pretty tired of doing shit today. So I've been pretty irritated. Glasses got all smudged up. Tried to clean them with my shirt that was covered in oil. Didn't work, as you'd expect. So thank you guys very much for watching. Jasmine is running, doing well with the big injectors, hitting 15 pounds, no problem. Creeping up to 16 in 3rd and 4th gear. Sounds really good. It's a lot quicker than it was before, but I'll let you guys in on an update when more shit gets figured out. Hopefully my oil leak situation is fixed. But I also spilled a ton of oil down the side of the block when I was pouring it in. So now I don't know where it's coming from. It's definitely dripping on the floor, but I'm not sure if it's from the block or from inside. So only time will tell. Thank you guys very much for watching. Make sure you're subscribed if you want to see what happens next for Jasmine, the Drift Smoke Show Volvo, as deemed by Mighty Car Mods. And give us a big thumbs up. Submit your entry for car of the video to cursforeverhelp@gmail.com, and we will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.